Pokemon eating each other, Pidgeotto eating Magikarp, Ekans eating the eggs of bird Pokemon, and Victreebel eating everything. This has been a topic that's been long discussed in the Pokemon community for a long time. And that is what this series is all about, seeing which Pokemon eats which, how they do it, and just generally how they act in nature. Last time I talked about the ultimate Chad, known as Gyarados, one of the most ferocious predators in the Kanto region, and the apex predator in the water. I discussed its very interesting method of reproduction, its potential evolution in the past, and how Tentacruel might just be the only Pokemon in the water that can survive an encounter with one. Today we're still focusing on the Seafoam Islands, as there are a lot of interesting dynamics still at play there. And they do happen in other places as well, but let's just stay in here for a bit. A common theme in this mini chapter, I guess you could call it, are predator and prey relationships, as these are abundant in real life. Yet in Pokemon, we don't see that much of it, but we know it happens. And that's why I love thinking about which Pokemon could potentially eat another, even if there's not any direct evidence for it. You know, like a headcanon you could easily make sense of by just looking at it, or that you can at least assume by looking at real-life examples. Which brings me to the elusive starfish Pokemon, the Starmie line. These Pokemon are pretty common in the Seafoam Islands, and I believe that just like real-life starfish, they are both predator and prey. And they might just eat in a really interesting way that is, I'll just leave it at that for now. It's speculated that these Pokemon originally came from space. Whether that's true or not doesn't really matter for this series. They're here on Poke Earth, and they've adapted to the world around them just as any other Pokemon. Staryu are pretty much like a starfish, but that doesn't make them boring, far from it. Starfish are freaking metal. Seriously, it doesn't matter how much is bitten off of these Pokemon, as long as the gem in the middle is intact, they will regenerate. Animals in nature often sacrifice a limb for survival, as the predator might be thrown off or at least take the little bit of meat that they got. So it's a very good strategy when in a life-threatening situation. I mean, would you rather lose your life or an arm? Staryu was eaten by lots of Pokemon, and I doubt that in Kanto it's any different. Pokemon like Dewgong, Kingler, Gyarados, and the likes would eat this Pokemon often, I'm certain. Unlike Starfish though, Staryu can regenerate its entire body within half a day, meaning that it likely needs a lot more food than a regular starfish to maintain itself. Which makes me wonder if they can eat parts of themselves. Spiders sometimes eat their own silk in situations of emergency, and rabbits eat their own poop. Baby starfish who are hungry are not ones to shy away from eating its siblings to survive, so perhaps Staryu does the same. You might love your Staryu, but who knows, it may have eaten its own siblings to survive, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do to live though, right? But what else do these Pokemon eat? Well, I'll elaborate more on that later. Interesting thing about that red core is that it shines at night, flashing in the dark, in a rhythm, and many Staryu do this together. Maybe they are trying to communicate with space if they really are aliens, or perhaps it's some other type of communication. What I like to think is that they all synchronize their evolution into Starmie. You know, like how groups of Bulbasaur evolved into Ivysaur in the anime. I definitely think that'd be a cool explanation. And what a perfect segue into Starmie. So these Pokemon are pretty much the same. They can regenerate and all of that, but their methods of communication appear to be more due to the fact that they shine 7 different colors, and those might be used to show emotion. Or maybe they have developed their own language. But anyway, it's best to stay away when they do communicate, as being around them can give you a headache. So it's also like a defensive mechanism. I do think it's likely that they have their own language, but maybe they are only capable of emitting headaches to those around them when they are in the mating season. You know, all together, like Staryu. Yeah, it'll be good to not have anyone interfere when you're, trying to do it. One thing that makes me sad about this Pokemon though is that his gem is worth a lot of money, which naturally means people go out and hunt it, which is unfortunate. I think Starmie needs to give even more headaches. But hey, one cool thing is that Starmie can propel themselves in the ocean by using their body, like a ship almost, the SS Starmie. Right, so what do these Pokemon exactly eat? Well, I think that just like with real-life starfish, the Starmie line probably feeds on mainly Pokemon that have a hard shell, or just smaller fish Pokemon. How these Pokemon could potentially eat though? Oh boy, starfish appreciators already know this, but starfish eat in a very interesting way. So if a starfish sees prey, what it does, it extends its stomach, yes, its stomach, onto the prey, slowly digesting it that way. So imagine if you wanted to eat a burger, and you were like, oh man, I really want this delicious burger, but I'm so sick of chewing all the time. Well, what you could do is you could open up a zipper on your stomach, and you put the burger in there, and it's already getting digested, baby. There's no need for that stupid annoying chewing anymore. No need for it anymore. Lovely. So next time you see this Pokemon, just remember that they might just eat their siblings and each other as well. Heck, I can easily see these Pokemon eating each other and cannibalizing each other anyway. You know, at least outside of their weird mating orgies. Though they are also eating themselves, they are still nonetheless carnivores. So a carnivore that gets eaten by other carnivores. That's a simple basis for really any ecosystem. The Kingdra line are a bunch of cool Pokemon, and since seahorses love to eat invertebrates, the connection to me is pretty clear, though a bit different from real life. Horsey is known to eat insects, bugs, bug Pokemon. To keep it more interesting, let's say very small bug Pokemon that just hang around and it shoots them out of the air into the water. In conditions where it cannot get such prey, it will resort to Pokemon in the water, like the aforementioned Staryu babies, or it will just eat moss instead, or rather algae like how real seahorses do. These Pokemon are cool because they're like a combination of cephalopods, you know, due to their ability to shoot ink, archerfishes due to their hunting style of shooting prey out of the water, so they got offensive ways of dealing with others, and defensive too. Always good to have. They can also swim really well using their tails, and they make their nests in the coral. Wait, hold up, a nest? Horsey, you're a baby! You're a baby Pokemon, you're like that small. How are you making babies if you're a baby yourself? Although, I guess it could also mean shelter. Yeah, let's just go with that. Like, okay, I can see subadults like Nidorina and stuff, like, reproducing, yeah, sure, but Horsey? No, you're just a literal baby. Anyway. They're well used to the tides, know how to stay safe from them, and even create whirlpools themselves, albeit very small, and compete among each other. It's also just good practice, really, as they're not good at it yet, so it certainly wouldn't be smart to try it at predators right now. Horsey also do like to play when they can. When they evolve into Seadra, they're pretty much the same, but more mature and also poisonous for some reason, but it's weird that they don't have the water-poison combination. Sadly, their poisonous bits, along with their bones and fins, are things that humans want themselves to consume. But don't let that make you think that they are not scary. They can create whirlpools that can swallow even fishing boats, which weakens prey enough to allow them to swallow them whole, even things bigger than their mouths. Seadra aren't all menacing though. They use their poison to protect corals from others, and they are very interesting parents, as just like with real-life seahorses, the males raise the offspring, and during this time, their poison gets even more intense, so don't mess with the dad. Oh, and there's this really weird entry about Seadra having a gene Horsey does not, which is really dumb because they're effectively the same species, but whatever. Kingdra seem to be very rare Pokemon, which may be why people thought Seadra didn't evolve in Gen 1, as Kingdra can be often found at the depths of the water, just chilling, conserving energy, set to create whirlpools by just yawning, and tornadoes from waking up. Which is also caused anytime a storm is near them. Hardcore stuff, wow. You know, these Pokemon really must need a lot of energy, you know, considering you're snoozing so much. Well, I mean, if you can cause extremely strong whirlpools at will, which inevitably will weaken and drown a lot of Pokemon, and if they're outside the water, you shoot them, and they fall in the water, and then they drown, well then, yeah, you can easily get a lot of food that way. Kingdra in the wild are probably not that common. I think that most Seadra just stay the way that they are. And then only a few lucky individuals get to evolve into a Kingdra. I mean, otherwise the ecosystem would just collapse completely. And I'm certain that Seadra and Kingdra often consume a lot of Starmie and Staryu, especially when all those starfish Pokemon are all nicely huddled together. Yeah, that's just mass murder, really. I mean, you gotta eat some way, right? There is one more line I'd like to focus on, but alas, time is short. So that'll be next time. But spoiler warning, it will involve a lot of urinating. Fun stuff. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below. You know, algorithm and stuff. And if you liked the video, hit that like button for support, and subscribe if you haven't already. I got lots of cool stuff on the channel, and always more coming soon. Oh, and before I go, I want to give out a massive thank you to my assistant professor and lecturer patrons. Ty Burns, Michael Piccirilli, DeltaMajora, Gwen Joy, and Daelyn Knyght. Y'all are the best, and as always, thank you for the support. And with that being said, I hope y'all have a good day, night, or morning, and as always, take care.